Here we go, another rational function to graph. Identify the holes and the asymptotes. Now when we're in general form like this, rational form, definitely have to be aware of holes and look at different ways for the asymptotes. If we have a second degree numerator and a second degree denominator, that means the numerator is equal to the degree of the denominator, then y equals a. Leading coefficient over leading coefficient will be your horizontal asymptote. That gives me a horizontal asymptote, I'll write it over here, of y equals -3. Again, because -3 over 1 is -3. So y equals -3 is your horizontal asymptote. Now we have to factor it to find the holes and the vertical asymptotes. So if I start with my numerator, this has a GCF of -3. Let's take that out first, which gives me -3 times x squared plus 4x plus 3. We'll get to the denominator in a minute. X squared plus 4x plus 3 factors with the Ma method. So if I continue, that's -3 times x plus 3 times x plus 1. Now the denominator. The denominator, x squared plus 3x plus 2. No GCF, just the Ma method. Using the Ma method, that is x plus 2 times x plus 1. And I'm going to rewrite it down here on my next line. Now look what we have. Here's my numerator factored, here's my denominator factored, and there's an x plus 1 factor on both, creating a hole. So cancel it out. X plus 1 and x plus 1 cancel out, giving me a final function, -3 times x plus 3 over x plus 2. That's my final function to graph. Now let's go back. Here was my hole. Where? At x equals -1. If I have a hole at x equals -1, then I have to plug -1 into the new function. If I plug it in my old one, it's undefined. You have to plug it in the new one. Put -1 in for both of these x's. When you do that, you get that y is equal to -6. So where x is -1 and y is -6 is a hole on the graph. So go back over here at -1, -6, and draw a hole. Oops, got to draw here. Oops. There's my hole. And I already drew my asymptote y equals -3, so what's left is my vertical asymptote. What makes the denominator 0? That's where x is -2. So x is -2 is my vertical asymptote. Draw that in right beside that hole. Since I've established that the graph is going to be down here, where the hole is, it'll go to the asymptotes around it. So there's half of the graph. Now I need to figure out over here, what happens when x is -3? Plug -3 in for x there. That gives me 0. If you put a -3 here and a -3 there, you get that y is 0. So -3, 0 is the point on the graph in that area. And again, drawing around that point to the asymptotes, we will have a finished graph. So graph is finished. I simplified my function. I wrote down where the hole is located and my asymptotes. Done.